Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, star maker for entrepreneurs who want to unlock their potential, command any stage, and make blockbuster profits. Welcome to Thrive, the show where I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a brand that makes you happy and profitable. Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Heather Poduska, and welcome to this episode of Thrive, How to Find the Spiritual Compass of the Soul, with my guest, Laura Clark. Laura Clark is known as the Soul Wise Living Mentor, where she helps entrepreneurial women declutter their lives so they can tune in to their deeper intuition. She's also the co-author of the international best-selling book, Choosing Happiness, Inspiration for a Woman's Soul. On this episode, Laura shares her tips and strategies with us so that we can tune into our deeper knowing to make better decisions in our lives and in our businesses. She shares with us the power of mantras and how she used her personal mantra to make it through a 9K race after twisting her ankle. We also talk about the power of listening to your body to get downloads, how that little tap on your shoulder or that flutter in your stomach can really help guide you to know when to take the big leap and when to hold off. She uses these strategies to help women really understand their next best steps. It's a fascinating interview. Laura is wise and kind. I hope you enjoy this episode of Thrive. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Thrive, the show where I bring you tips, resources, and people to help you create a brand that makes you happy and profitable. I'm your host, Heather Poduska, and I help make industry stars by teaching them how to command any stage and leverage their media opportunities. I want to thank you all for joining me today. You are in for 30 minutes of high-value content coming to you from industry leaders who are growing their business, making an impact, and rocking their brands. And I am so excited to have my special guest here today, Laura Clark. Laura's passion is working with professional women who are ready to embrace their own inner wisdom to overcome challenges in life. Known as the Soul Wise Living Mentor, Laura teaches a unique process of awakening and intuition development tools that allow her clients to align the energies within them and around them for spiritual empowerment. Through this, her clients learn to hear their gut instinct and their intuition more consistently and understand it more clearly so they can find the courage to act on it. And that's a big thing, to act on your intuition. Laura is also the co-author of the international bestseller, Choosing Happiness, Inspiration for a Woman's Soul. So I am so excited to have you here, Laura. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Heather. I just love speaking about soul set, as I call it, and following your own inner compass, because there's so much chatter out there that can get us off track, and it's so important as an entrepreneur and business owner to stay on track. So thank you for having me.
I'm thrilled. I knew like within the first few minutes that I met you that I wanted to talk to you more. So I'm really excited to have this chance to have, well, I was going to say all to myself, but you're really not all to myself. I'm sharing you. So, Laura, tell me, how did you get drawn to this work? Because, we've all been around, I'll speak for myself. We've all been around the sun a few times at this point in our lives, and we can choose anything we want, really. So how did you get drawn into this work?
Yeah, so my story is not unique, and yet it is mine. I started in corporate world. I worked for a YMCA for 10 years after college, doing what I was told to do, go to college, get a good job, marry a man, have a house, 2-car garage, 2.5 kids. And none of that was happening because my job was all encompassing and my life was fading. So around 33, I landed in deep depression because I didn't know how to find myself. I didn't know how to stop listening to everybody else in the world. And that's where I really kind of began to open up to hearing my own inner wisdom. And I left the YMCA's and opened up my own massage therapy practice. That was something that helped me go through my own awakening. And what I realized when I was doing all of that work was people were coming to me for a pill. They were coming to me to feel really good for an hour. But then they'd go back to their office or they'd go back to their home and life was falling on top of them again. Mm-hmm. So they really weren't getting much long-term relaxation and relief so they could hear themselves. And part of my own evolution was going deeper into stopping that chatter and working on my own inner self. So the evolution was from a body-wise practice to a soul-wise practice. And I infused into working with private clients my own spiritual awakening tools, if you will, ways to really stop the mindset, really stop the emotional roller coaster, really stay in your own power and your strength, and get rid of all the clutter so that you can hear the right answer. And I believe everyone is intuitive, most especially entrepreneurs, those people who really have a message to share with the world. They are really enlightened and intuitive, but they oftentimes get off their path in their journey. And so I just love helping them stay focused and stay in a place where they can hear their own true answers.
No, I love that. And do you hear a reverb?
I don't.
Does anybody listening, do you hear a reverb? Okay, I don't. Good. It went away, I think. So I love what you were saying about entrepreneurs, because I hadn't thought about it that way before, that they tend to be more intuitive. And I think that makes sense, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're doing your own thing and you have already taken that first step to follow your voice, to find your voice, I should say, because you're stepping out on your own and you're not living by the dictates of other people.
I know. Isn't that great?
But yeah, but it's also, it can be overwhelming because there are so many choices. You get out and you're like a kid in the candy store. I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And, as a brand strategist, that's part of my work with people, is helping them narrow those choices so that they're in alignment with, their goals, their talents, how they want to make money, all of those things. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't agree with you more that having that space, I loved what you said about massage too, that it feels great when someone is there with you doing that. But then when you leave, how do you take that great feeling with you and have the space to hear your voice? So I want to ask you that. How do you, in your own life, if you're not yet ready to take the dive and start your spiritual awakening, what are some small ways that people can start to right now, especially entrepreneurs, make that space to hear their voice?
Sure. Yeah. I love the word alignment because it is so easy to get out of alignment. To find alignment and to start that path, especially when you're starting out and working with somebody as fabulous as you are, creating that brand, it's all about clarity. It's all about really knowing yourself and what your gifts are to bring forward into the world. And if you're not coming out of the gate with that clarity, and hey, I'll put my hand up first because I didn't come out of the gate with clarity. I began a massage therapy practice. Mm-hmm. So if you don't come out that gate with that clarity, you're going to hit the roadblocks. You're going to get out of alignment. So some real simple things to start off with is working on mindset. We hear that it's a buzzword out there, but it really is really powerful. What are you saying to yourself? When you get up and you brush your teeth in the mirror, what are you saying to yourself in the morning? Are you saying, good morning, this is going to be a great day? Or are you saying, I have to go on a blab? That's not what I did. I was really excited.
I get to go on a blab, right?
I was really excited. Instead of the, and bringing that mindset that I am valuable, I am enough. So many of the women that I work with come to me and they are exceptional women and a few really great guys. But somewhere deep down, they don't believe that they're enough, that they don't have value. So knowing your own value and who you are is really, really important. And my best suggestion for that is journaling. Really just getting a pen and paper out and journaling your thoughts so that you can see what you're thinking to yourself. Because then you can counteract it and start on that path of really correcting your mindset.
I love that. I went to a retreat like a week and a half ago, and of course, you go to a retreat, you're on cloud nine when you come home, right? It's that infusion of energy and support. And I was, happy and excited, but also like, I hope I can sustain this. I hope I can sustain this feeling, at least some of it. And, one of the things that helped me was we were each assigned a mantra before we left. And a part of me was like, this is sweet, right? This is sweet. Nice. But it really helped me. Yeah. And when you go back in the trenches, you're with your kids or your dogs or you're working or whatever it is that, life comes at you, you have to have those hooks and those anchors to bring you back. Yeah. So do you work with people on mantras and things like that as well?
Absolutely. So, we talk about mindset, but one of the things that takes our mindset off is our emotions and the roller coaster that we go on throughout a day. So if you think about all of the emotions that you experience during a day, from frustration to love to joy to worry to concern to depression, we have so many, even the most spiritual gurus out there have a wide range of emotions. And being able to navigate through them, feel them, allow them to be released, really is a form of getting to your soul set. And the best way to do that is to use a mantra. I have one. It's shifted over life, but over the last 20 years, it has become more and more powerful. And it's mine. So the mantra you use will work for you. But you have to, you can't say, I am enough, I am enough. If that's not what you really believe, you have to work into that. And finding the right one that connects to what your soul is trying to tell you is the most valuable thing you can do with a mantra.
And you said you have yours. It sounds like you've had the same one for a long time.
The one that I am using currently actually came out of, it's been 2.5 years since the Boston bombings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So before that, it was, I am valuable, I am vibrant. I am valuable, I am vibrant. Because I didn't think that I had a vibrant personality, which everybody else says.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
I know, right?
You cray, girl.
I know. But that's our inner speak to ourselves. So I was countering it with that. But what happened during the Boston bombings is I had ankle surgery the year before, and I really wanted to do something to support my recovery. And that was go do, it was a really long race, a 9K. But it was in Boston, and it was important to me because it was the run to home base, which ended in Fenway Park, which supported veterans, which is something that's near and dear to my heart. And it was something that I needed to do to sustain my physical recovery. Mm-hmm. But the Boston bombings happened. And I was out doing a run. And this was during the time when they were trying to find the people responsible. And I was running, and I tripped and I fell. And of course, it's oh, my ankle, oh, why me, oh, and you just go down into the gunk. Boston bombings, people are hurt, people died. Just that gunk of that emotion. And I had to get up to walk home, right? And I took a couple steps, and I'm like, I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. And I said it over and over again. And then I said, I am safe. I am supported, because I had a lot of people, who had my back to do this run. I am safe. I am supported. I am strong. I am strong. I am spirit. And as I started these steps, and I was about a mile from my home, going back to my home, I was picking up that energy, I am safe. I am strong. I am supported. I am spirit. And then I started sending it out to Boston and everybody who was going through the lockdowns and that whole horrible experience. You are safe. You are strong. You are supported. You are spirit. And then I did the we are safe. We are strong. We are supported. We are spirit. And before long, I had run 3 miles. I'd gone past my driveway. I'd run 3 miles and I had to turn around and run back
Whoa.
because I was getting into that soul space of what was really, really important to me at that moment. And when you can, and that mantra has gotten me through so much in the last 2 years because I just really sat into that soul space. And when you can do that under those circumstances, man, what can you do when you bring it into your own business and your own life? You know, and what can you do when you bring it into your own business? You can rock the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. And I agree with you because I've said this to my husband before, like, oh, I'm having such a bad day, blah, blah, blah. And like an hour later, he'll see me again. He's like, how are you, honey? And I'm like, oh, I'm great. He's like, well, what happened? Well, I don't know. Like it just changes. And if you can keep that mindset intact, it's so important. We have someone that wants to join the chat. Would you be open to answering a question?
I love it.
Okay, hold on, Ingrid. We'll let you in. You have a question, and we'll see what you have to say. See how Blab does with that. In the meantime, I want you to talk a little bit about the results that you've seen in some of your clients. Oh, they went away. It didn't work. In some of your clients that have done this work. So
yeah, so I've been doing this Soulwise Living has morphed over the last 5 years is when I started, and what I've seen is that people are calmer. And when you have calm and peace of mind, you can have those obstacles, and we have them come all day long. I mean, look at technology. It comes at us all day long. You can have a customer that you have to deal with. You can have, the interruptions of when you're trying to really focus on something. And when you can work in this space of soul, you just fly through those things with ease and grace. So my clients have, one of my favorite clients who I worked with prior to her doing her first live event, and she was scared to death that nobody would sign up. And then she was scared once she had 50 people that her goal of 100 wasn't going to happen. And we just kept working through those things. And she had her first live event of 100 people. She sold to 70% of the room.
Wow.
And just really kept going because she stayed in focus. She allowed herself to stay in soul on each and every choice she needed to make during that process.
That's awesome.
And it was with these tools that I teach that she did it.
That's awesome. So we have someone. Do you have a question for us, Ingrid?
Really, I am not here to question, but it's that I want to talk with English people just to increase my level in English.
Okay. Well, if you have a question, you can pop it in the group. But we're going to continue with Laura for just a couple more minutes, okay?
Okay, I am sorry. Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem. Thanks for joining us. That's what I love about Blab. There are all these different things. So
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about your process? So I know you mentioned mantras and journaling. What is it? I know that you said spiritual empowerment. So talk to us a little bit about that spiritual piece and what that means.
Sure. So I'm a spiritual person. I am not religious, but my process works with anyone, even agnostics and atheists. What it is, it's about getting into your soul, your own inner wisdom. We all have it. We all have intuition. If you believe that it's divinely guided or just a gift from being a human being here, it is there within us. And finding it can be really hard. So we work on mindset. We work on emotion set. And so we journal through the mindset. We may use a mantra through the emotion set. Physical strength to me is really important. So making sure you have physical activity, walking, jumping rope, whatever creates joy in your life. There's spirit set, and that's about raising your vibration. And when you're having a down day, how do you find things that juice you? so that you can not go down that rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
but go up into more joy.
So what would be an example of that? Because I think that's really, like I just said, you have roller coasters within each day.
Absolutely.
So how do you, those are little anchors, I think, so important.
Absolutely. So raising your vibration, what I do is I have my clients make out a little pie of the things that they love to do in life, whether that's dance, whether that's go and sit by the ocean, whether that's go have a cup of coffee in Starbucks. Those things that just kind of you find joy in. Yesterday I was driving. I was working at a client's home, and I was driving to my home. And I stopped at a stop sign, and I saw a squirrel on a branch, and he had an acorn in his mouth. And I just spent a moment enjoying that because I love nature.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoying his process of, he's getting ready for winter and he's taking his acorns to his home, and just finding things that bring you joy, whether that's if you have a pet, spending time with your pet, or holding hands with your spouse, things that really bring you joy, and having those right at your tips of your hands. So I have my little pie, and I have all of my clients put that up next to their computers. So if they start feeling this, they can look at it and say, I need to dance for a minute. They put on a really good song and they juice it up. No, so whatever they can do to bring their spirit and elevate their emotions from the less than to the more than.
Yeah.
Once you do all of that, you're ready to start listening to your inner wisdom. It's getting rid of the clutter, in your life. Whether it's inner clutter or outer clutter. And then we are intellectual beings. So I work with a lot of mentors. I know you do too. And they may suggest strongly to do this or to do that. But oftentimes you're resistant, right? Oftentimes you say, I don't want to do that. You have to find a space to decide whether that's your ego brain saying, don't do that, you might get hurt. Or if it's, no, that's not right for me. That's not right for me. And within this space of clarity, within this space of a simple mindset of you're not an emotional roller coaster, of having a heightened vibration, you will hear your own gut instinct more frequently.
I love that you brought that up, because I think that happens a lot. And I was going to ask you that question. How do you know when you're fearful, if it's fearful of the unknown, that it's something that you need to make that leap, or that fear that, how do you identify what kind of fear it is? If it's like, this is not right. So, but, or this is a chance that I have to take. Sometimes you tell your kids, you need to do this. And they're like, no, I don't want to do this. And like, no, you really need to do it. And if they just listened to their own fear, they wouldn't do it, but they really need to do it.
Right. So what you're asking, I believe, is, when to take the leap of faith and when to say, that's not for me. And the answer is, it's really individual. It's a really individual process. Some people may feel a tingling down their arm. Some people may, I have people say, I just got a download, because they're becoming clairvoyant. There are lots of different intuitive snags. So for me, personally, I have an intuitive snag right underneath my breastbone. And when I feel that in my being, I know I'm scared. My ego is saying, play safe. And for me, it's okay, I got to go do this. On the other hand, for me, if it's, somebody saying, go do this, I literally will have some feeling on the back of my shoulder going, think again, think again, think again. It taps me here. So there's a lot of, you may hear it, you may feel it. And that's when it's so important to really know yourself, because through these processes, through just discovering who you are, you'll start feeling things. You'll start noticing. You'll see signs like the squirrel with the acorn. And it was a direct sign for me to say, hey, Laura, you've got to do some work at home to spearhead your business. And my clients learn how to feel those things and hear those things with greater ease. But it really comes down to just knowing yourself. Working with a brand coach is really important in my estimation because you help get to that clarity. Working with a mindset coach or a soul set coach is really important, almost more important than, if you're an entrepreneur, a business coach.
I agree. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I agree. One of my favorite sayings is, when the path is clear, execution is successful.
I love that.
Yes, because when you know where you're going, you know what steps to take. You know the next pieces that you have to put in place, and you're not stuck in that should I. You're like, there's the path. These are the steps. Boom, 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 boom. And you may hit some obstacles along the way, but you have a strategy and you have something that you can follow.
Right. And then those obstacles, instead of being roadblocks, are simply obstacles that you can kind of jump over with ease and grace, or choose to go around, or say, yeah, it is an obstacle. Maybe I'm supposed to be going in this direction.
That's awesome. I love that. Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the show. There's still more great content to come, but I wanted to take just a minute to talk to you about a new course I've created called Close Any Room. You may have noticed that all of my guests know how to speak about their businesses in a clear and compelling way. But that's something a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, and it's something you need to know how to do so you can convert your audience into more sales. And that's why I've created this course. It's a 6-week audio course to teach you how to craft a signature talk so that you can authentically give value and close more of your audience from the stage. In the class, you learn how to create a clear and compelling point of view, how to organize your content and give great value to your audience without giving away the farm, how to structure your talk so that it seamlessly closes your audience at the end without feeling salesy. And I also give you templates and instructions how to create marketing materials, a speaker sheet, and all kinds of sign-up sheets when you're giving your talks. And finally, what everybody's hot to know, I also give you tips and resources on how to find speaking gigs. It's an all-inclusive course so that you can start closing and selling more from the stage. And as my free gift to you for tuning into the podcast, I'm giving you my free webinar, also called Close Any Room, and you can listen to it at clearvoicebranding.com/close-any-room. And it will give you lots of tips and information to get you started on how to create that signature talk that sells. Okay, we're going to get back to the show now. There's still more great content to come. Thanks for joining me. So I also want to ask you about you. I love that you were a massage therapist and you were talking about feeling, that feeling maybe in the pit of your stomach or the tap on your shoulder. And when I talk to people, I always talk about pleasure and constriction. So when something's right, it's that game you played when you were a kid, warmer, 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 or colder, 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 colder. So if you make a step in a direction that is not really what I like to call your superpower or your soul's greatest desire, it feels constricting. I feel constricting. It feels cold-ish. And when it is something that is really in alignment, it feels warm. I like to think even of it as sensuality. It has for me, it has this sensual feel to it. It's like, yummy, and I can just dig my hands in there. Yeah. So I love that you talked about that. So talk a little bit more about that mind-body connection when you can tune into your body to feel, literally feel if something is right.
Right. So I liken it, what you're saying, I liken it to a barometer or a thermometer, where if it feels really good, it's hot, it's like vibrant, it's juicy, it's red, it's glowing. And you may feel that in your body. Have you ever sat out in the sun and you just feel this little glow on your face? And it feels like there's a pulsation around your face as you're sitting in the sun. That means you're in a really good space. That means your energy is vibrating. So you can feel that energy vibrating off of your body. If you're getting a really good massage and you go into that, what I call the drool zone, you know,
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Right. You're not asleep, but you're awake.
Yeah.
You will start feeling a pulsation about your body because you're not conscious. You're in that subconscious space of yourself, and that's your soul's truth. When you can get into that space, you will start feeling things. So that's why yoga is so powerful. Meditation is so powerful. Soul journeys are so powerful. Body work is powerful because you can get into that soul space. What's important is being able to come out of it and find a lesson of when you were in it.
So we'll talk more a little bit about that. That's really important.
Sure. So if you're in a massage, you're in that drool zone, and you start saying, "Oh, I can handle that conversation with my partner in business about doing this event. I really feel it's important to do this event." And you get that yes while you're in that zone. It's important to come out of it and spend time. Why did you get that yes? Did you get that yes? Because by the time you get in your car and you drive away from a bodywork treatment, you've forgotten all of that. So when you're in that space of being able to feel your body, it's important to feel it. It's important to identify it. Is it warm? Is it fuzzy? Is it juicy? Or is it, you're in that zone. It's just wrong to go do that event. We are not going to go do that event. And then you can start saying, okay, I got this understanding. It was in my right shoulder. My right shoulder. It was in my right shoulder. So, okay, now when do I feel my right shoulder the most? That's a no. Am I getting that when I'm in conversation with people? Am I getting that no, and it's a backwards motion on my shoulder? I spoke about my client who was doing that event, and she was working with me. She's like, "Laura, there are times when I just see and read, and my eye just starts fluttering, and it almost closes."
Wow.
And I know it's a no. I know, it's like no, she's shutting herself down to seeing that.
Wow.
And that became her understanding of, no, that's not the step I want to take.
Wow. That is so cool.
We get clues all over the place, all over our body, all over the universe.
But I love the thing about the body because you're with it all the time. You don't have to get you don't have to get the squirrel moment. You don't have to wait for the squirrel, right? Because it's it's your shoulder or your stomach, and and I loved what you said about if you can tune in those moments when you're having the drool moment, like or whatever. When you take that out and then you feel your shoulder in another situation, you're like, wait a minute, that my shoulder's talking. What are you saying to me? What are you saying to me? Right?
And that when you get really efficient and effective at this, you can ask yourself a question and your body will answer you.
Oh, I love that. That is so cool.
I can say, do I want to do this blab thing for the first time with my friend Heather?
Yeah.
I might get this fearful thing in my stomach, and I say, that's a yes. Or I might get the tap and say, no, your time spent better. So I do that. I ask my body for answers all the time, and people can do this.
That's awesome.
People can do this, and it makes decision making simple, easy. And worry, I don't know if I worry anymore in my life. I just kind of tune it out because when I start feeling worry or my clients start getting concerned, we have all of these resources to go to and say, let me grab that and get back in alignment. Let me grab that and get back to center. Because we all have really important things to do in this world. Every single person has a purpose, and it's important that you go out and you light the world on fire with that. Yeah. Because when you don't, you're missing out on all this possible joy in life.
And you're not sharing your mission
Yeah.
So you're not lighting other people up in the way that they need to be lit up by you,
Right.
right? Of sharing it. And that's why you come and do a blab so that you can share your light. I love that. So just before we get off the body thing, one other question about it, because one of my yeses, most of my yeses come when I'm exercising.
Mm.
I'm on the treadmill, and mine is not like the drool moment, because I don't know if that's the kind of person I am. I'm more like a high octane, let's go kind of person. So when I'm on the treadmill and I'm really sweating, I like get these like flashes of inspiration.
Yeah.
And then how do you keep that, or A, keep it, or B, contain it in a way that's useful? Because mine are like, wow! And then I come home, I'm like, it's so much.
Sure. And that's part of knowing your choices and being aligned. And when you were talking, I have so many clients that go to events and they become energized and juiced. And then they come home, or they get off the treadmill and they come back into their life and they go, oh, well, now what? Wait a minute. Was that real? How do I do this? How do I continue to go forward on this? And for me, the answer is to surround yourself with love and light. Surround yourself with really great people. Surround your home with stuff you love. I mean, I have fresh flowers in my home every day. Surround yourself with the love and the light of all of that inspiring juice that you get from wherever you get it, and it will continue to go forward. But I believe, especially entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, we spend so much time by ourselves in our own personal container that we need people. We need good people who love us, who support us, who may give us a kick in the behind here and there, who may catch us if we start falling. But it's having those wonderful relationships that are true and authentic, that keep inspiring you forward.
We have a great question in the chat, and it says, I love what you said. And the question is your body speaking to you and giving you answers the same as your spirit? That's a great question. Thank you for asking that question.
It's an absolutely wonderful question, and I wholeheartedly believe the answer is yes. I believe that spirit, source, universe, God speaks to us through what we have here in the physical being. We are down here as spiritual beings having a human experience, and because we're human, we have a body, and it speaks to us all of the time. I had ankle surgeries because I was avoiding doing what I needed to do. I wouldn't take those steps forward, and that was part of my lesson. And it's part of everybody's lesson. We feel things in our bodies all the time, whether it's a message of things you have to get over, learn, heal from, uncover your truth, or whether it's a message of insight, of intuition. So focusing on our natural human form is really important. That's a great question.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was a great question. And then, so the last question along this line I wanted to ask you is, I've been learning and taking my steps on this journey as well, and it is really a journey of faith. So what do you say to people when you get that spark of intuition and either you think it makes no sense, like logical sense, you feel it, like you have that feeling in your body that this is a yes. I have a yes in my body is telling me a yes, but my mind is saying, what? I don't know how this is going to happen. So and it really is, it doesn't maybe match what you have in front of you or your vision in front of you. So what do you tell people about that and how to interpret or move forward on those?
Faith is not about the how we get there. It's about knowing that that's where we're going to get. So we don't need to know the how. And I have a mantra that I use all of the time. I'm positively expecting great results. I have faith that the universe is rearranging itself for my highest good right now. I trust in that faith by taking clear, consistent committed, and courageous steps forward.
Can you say that again?
I can.
Because that's a great mantra.
It is.
I want that mantra. So say it again.
I'm positively expecting great results. I have faith that the universe is rearranging itself for my highest good. I trust in this by taking clear, consistent, committed, and courageous steps forward.
Clear, consistent, committed, courageous steps forward. I love that.
Right. And that's one step at a time. And sometimes a courageous step means going and taking a nap. Okay? It doesn't mean those huge, giant steps. It's the best next step forward. And if you don't know what that best next step forward is, go take a nap. You'll find out.
You heard it here. If you want to grow your business, take a nap. Oh, that's awesome. I really love that. So we're sort of coming to the end of our time. I want one other question that I wanted to ask you, and I ask everybody this question is, right now, if you have to answer this question today, what are you most grateful for?
Today, my dogs.
Oh, yeah. And I should have known. Was that the same answer as yesterday and the day before,
Probably.
too?
And it might be the same as tomorrow. They bring me joy. They calm me down. The dogs that are in spirit speak to me all the times. The ones that are here just love me up, and they just bring me joy.
That's great. Thank you so much. And I am grateful for you, Laura, for coming and sharing your expertise. And I want to acknowledge you and tell you that I appreciate the work that you do in the world and the light that you bring into the world and the message that you bring into the world, because you shining your light and sharing your expertise and giving this important piece of the puzzle to everybody about how they can become more enlightened and make their own light shine is so valuable. And I applaud you for picking up the baton and moving forward with that, so that we can all benefit from that. So thank you so very much. And I want to thank all of you for joining us as well. If you'd like to know more about Laura, how can they get in touch with you?
You can go to my website, soulwiseliving.com. There I have a Compass, which is an audio series that speaks more in depth to what we've been talking about today. And you can reach me through that website, soulwiseliving.com.
Okay, I sort of posted that. I didn't do the whole URL, but I have the words in there because I'm trying to talk and chat at the same time.
I know.
So thank you so much. And again, thank you all for being here. And my gift for you guys for showing up and staying with us is a free webinar on how you can speak and become more confident and sell from the stage. And if you'd like that webinar, you can go to clearvoicebranding.com/close-any-room. Thank you so much for being here. I loved it. I loved all of the things that you had to say. And I am going to go back and say it one more time. Clear, consistent,
committed, and courageous steps forward.
Okay, clear, consistent, committed, and courageous steps forward. That's a tweetable, people. Okay, thank you, Laura. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Thrive. I loved having you here. I love having you as part of my community. And if you're enjoying the show, I would love it if you share it with your friends on Twitter, on Facebook, or wherever they're hanging out. I also want to let you know you can leave me feedback or comments. I love hearing from you. Just post those at heatherpoduska.com. You can also leave suggestions for topics that you'd like to know more about, or if there's someone you'd really like to see on the show, let me know that as well. Okay, until next time, here's to hitting all your high notes. Take care. Bye-bye.